Alright everybody, and welcome back to the channel Simply Reefing. Today we are going to go ahead and do an update on both of the tanks, the 180 here and the Cade aquarium. Honestly guys, I've been slacking on doing the videos here and updating you guys as to what's going on, but today we're going to go ahead and do a pretty lengthy video on what's been going on with the Cade system here and what's been going on with the 180 behind me here right now. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the camera around. We'll take a look at the Cade. I'll go over what's happened since the last video and where we are so far with this. So just sit tight. We'll go ahead and flip this around and try to get everything in frame. But hang tight and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so before I fill you guys with all of the information going on with the Cade, this one here is going to be pretty much short, sweet, and simple. As you can kind of tell, all the rock work is gone. I pretty much just have a few corals in here that I need to deal with as far as either fragging up, dipping, whatever the case may be. But for right now, a good majority of the corals are here because my frag tank is actually full of a bunch of nonsense currently. So once I get all of that situated, get the new frag tank up, I'll be able to move a lot of these erroneous pieces out of this system and over to the frag tank. As you can see, we got an Avatar chalice here. We got some nice leptos here. I'm not sure exactly the exact name on that. We got some of your candy cane Cephastrias. We got a huge chunk right here, man. This is a big piece covering both the top and the bottom. We have a couple of Montes in the back and my big mother colony of bird's nest and a couple of fish. These have been, these are in here at the time because they've been more than likely rejected from the whole system that they were in the first place. That was the female clownfish. She decided it was time to go ahead and assert her dominance in the tank, and unfortunately that did not go too well for her. Same thing with this little guy. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but the other two damsels decided, nah, this is my space, and they had a massive disagreement. So with that being said, these two are in here until I can move them somewhere else. We got some more of the acros back here, some 500 FLOs, some Smagotes, Digis, and more acros. So like I said, once I get the frag tank situated, the new one, I'll be able to move a lot of these over. I did move the gyros back in here so that way I can have some flow in the tank. And pretty much as you can see, the flow is kind of murdered out a nice little, or created a nice little dead spot here in the center and just weared out the sand. So that's it for this tank. It's really empty. Let me get the light going on in here. I grabbed one of my old skimmers so I can at least have a skimmer in the tank going. And the Cade is putting in the work right now in getting the water flowing in here. But like I said, this is all just gonna get tore down. As you guys can tell already, one of the things that did get moved, somebody did mention it, was the SK500. It has been moved to the new system and is doing well there. And that's pretty much it, you know, just cleaning up. Obviously the remnants of what was in here is now gone and we are good to go. So reef bites are on here instead, and we'll get to moving that. The only thing I'm kind of sad that I'm gonna have to move, but I don't have any space on the new tank, is my mangrove that's been growing in the back overflow here. So that's really it. This tank is almost ready to go. I'd say probably by the end of next week I may have this drained and emptied out. As far as mood, that's a whole nother thing, but for right now that's going to be that. So I'm going to go ahead and swing over here to the Cade, but first obviously I'm going to show you guys this, my mess, which is the rest of the floor that needs to get done, mainly because this tank is here. I haven't been able to complete the floor. So once that's gone, I'll be able to complete the floor and get my little office space back. So my auto top off, for the new system, I told you guys I had a plan for the auto top off, which I have utilized for this system here, because I honestly got tired of carrying the water or just running the hose, so I can do the auto top off and fill up the reservoir so it can do what it needs to do. I decided, you know what, put an RODI system on it. Tapped into a main line, got the RODI with the reservoir tank, and that is my auto top off for at least this system and the Cade behind me. So that's how I'm handling my auto top off. We'll go ahead and we'll swing it over to the Cade here. All right guys, and here goes the Cade 1800. We're going to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly of what's been going on with this tank. It has gone through most of its ugly phase. The rock work is still, you know, doing its thing, getting the algae covered on it and what's not. Obviously going from a pure white rock to an algae covered rock with life in every piece of the crevice there. And we are doing good so far. So we're just going to go ahead, take a look around. I'll talk to you guys about what's been going on with everything so far. As far as the process that I went through to get everything here, we really went ahead, or took all the acros, cleaned, dipped, and cut everything. Anything that showed signs of any of the acro eating flatworm eggs, or even the flatworms themselves, those were all removed. Literally, I just cut bases off, whole sides, pieces, chunks, whatever you could see an egg on, it was cut. So a lot of these corals were not bad off, but there were some that I did have to do some major surgery to. And you know, that's the reality of it. You know, they had the flatworms on them, they had to go. The only thing that I did not dip was the Euphyllias themselves, mainly because they were in a different system, but that has its own set of problems. Some of you guys probably saw that, but I will talk about that in a second here. So all the acros are doing well. There are actually, some have started to encrust onto the rock, which is a good sign. So they are happy. And a lot of the fish are doing well. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I got a bicolor mimic tang. It is down in the sump right now. It's actually way too small to put in here. I've tried it twice, and this nice little fella here greeted him with love and care with his tail, and that was not fun at all. So we're gonna go ahead and get him all bulked up and try to reintroduce him here. I may have to go ahead and get one of those acclimation boxes, so that way everybody kind of knows, hey, there's a new fish in here and he's doing well. As far as the new fish front, because all the fish are still the same ones, new fish, I did purchase 2 of these sunburst Antheus. Unfortunately, one did pass away, and not sure where it's at, but pretty certain that one of my cleanup crew got a hold of it and got that all taken care of. So here's the other side of the tank, and we're just looking at a few things here. But as far as the fish go, I did lose 2 Antheus. They were already bad off from the get-go when they were in the other tank. One was really skinny for the longest. I think it just got sick and it just literally stopped eating. And then the male Antheus that was in here, it also for a while just stopped eating, kind of hung out in the rocks for a while. So it was a gamble in moving him from the old system over to the new one here. Unfortunately, they did not make it through that process. They lasted maybe like a week, and then one at a time went out. So as far as new fish in, new fish out, got 2 new fish in, 2 fish checked out. But you know what? It's sad, but it happens. Unfortunately, you know, I'll have to make sure we get those back in. But as far as new pieces in here for corals, as you guys can tell, some of the new frag discs, like this one here that's really flat, waiting for that to grow out. I did get another clam right here from guys over at Trash Panda, and I got a couple more pieces of acro that I ended up putting in here. Let me see, it was a Starburst. I think it was a Starburst, and oh no, the Starfire acro, and I also ended up picking up another acro on the top rock here to go ahead and put in the tank. So thanks to the folks that provided those acros, and yeah, we're doing well. One thing as far as the ugly phase and crap that's happening here right now, I'm probably going to have to end up ripping out that blasto. As you guys can tell, there is aptasia on it, so I'm gonna have to take that out. I thought I got everything off of it, but obviously one snuck by and has slowly kind of multiplied in there, so I'm gonna end up having to pull that piece out, cut that off, and then re-glue it back on there. And one bad thing that did happen, or major issue that happened here, was all of the Euphyllias. So I put the Euphyllias in first. They did well, and some of them started to go ahead and get the brown jelly. Now, I didn't pull anything out. I let it run its course because I've had brown jelly before. Either it's going to kill the whole colony or it's going to kill some of it off. Fortunately, it ended up giving this pink frog spawn here a little bit of a mohawk. So straight down the middle, everything died off from brown jelly. The Indo Gold that's here, the whole back half, brown jelly. Luckily, this one single head of this rose gold did not die. I'm happy with that. And let's see. This hammer here also on the left hand side. Let me see if I can get over there and show you guys. Yeah, right there where you guys can see the white of the skeleton, that also checked out. Nothing happened to this framer here, and nothing happened to any of the other corals. I did lose one acan. I had to throw that away. As you can tell, this one here is kind of holding on. It's a bit bleached out, but for a while everything was under the reef brights, which was just straight up blue. And I think what was going on was there was so much blue in such a low level, a lot of the corals just couldn't handle that drastic of a change, going from like a couple hundred par to 20 or 30 par. Because I did do a par check on this while I had the reef brights on to see what I was getting and why things were acting up, and found that yeah, it was really low par at the bottom. So, you know, put the lights on. And speaking of lights, they are the Radions. Now, I did add 2 XR15s to the middle here, no diffusers on them. And the reason I went with no diffusers was to kind of get the penetration down into the middle, which was an unforeseen plus, because when I had the lighting rack set up in my mind, I wanted these two in the middle, not realizing that it would actually line up with the dead center middle here and the middle here. So now I have penetration all the way down through the rock work to the bottom. I don't know, who knows? We'll see what it does in the long run. For right now, that's my plan with the lighting up here. And we got the MP40s in. A lot of ranting here on this video here, but you know what? You guys asked for some updates on this tank, and this is the biggest update I can give you guys currently, because after this, I think the system is just going to be on autopilot and recovery mode. As you can tell, a lot of the corals were bleached, mainly from the dips. This one here, there we go. Let's get the focus back. That one dead center is actually a pink Cadillac. I thought I lost a good chunk of it, like I did with the Jason Fox Flame at the top, where you can see everything's kind of dead, but it has slowly returned. A lot of my other corals here are slowly coming back. Right now the lights are on full white so I can do the video, but right now I should be dimming down to a blue setting here. But you know, I want to go ahead and be able to show you guys everything that's going on in the tank currently. One piece that I'm hoping to come back is my Dendrophilia. I do need to go in and get some more of the PNS and dose this tank again, so I can get this guy, you know, back on recovery here. So it is holding on, which I am happy for. I would love to see this get bigger and actually thrive in here, but for right now, it is opening up at night, closing during the day, so it is still holding on to what it can. I got a couple of the St. Thomas's here and a nice big mushroom that I got from the folks over at Trash Panda. Also, not a huge mushroom fan because they do like to spread, but you know what? Those guys under the blue lights are really bright. So that's really pretty much it right now. I did pull off the RFG nozzles because when I did add the return pump on here, it was just, you know, situating the flow right and getting everything correct, and the RFGs weren't working well with the sorry, the Ecotechs here, mainly because it was just way too much flow in the middle, and everything would kind of bounce off the glass and just cause a nice little divot here just in the middle of the sand, which was starting to wear that away. But all in all, that's the top side of everything. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the sump and see how that works, and I'm pretty certain you guys are gonna enjoy that. Then I'll go ahead and do some more shots of everything. But other than that, you guys see, I'm waiting for this alveopora to come back. That's really, just take note of it. That should be a pink and blue alveopora right now. Yeah, not so happy right now. But like I said, everything is on a recovery mode. So here we are in the sump right now. And what do we got going on here? So we got the reef octopus that it did come over from the old system. And everybody's been saying, you know, move to Clarisea. That was the original plan from get-go, was to put the Clarisea in here. And that in itself was a project, which is why I kind of held off on doing some of the videos, because working on this to try to get it in there was a bit of a pain. What I mean by that, if you guys take a look back at some of the other videos on this tank, you'll know this section here actually should be holding 4 filter socks and a few glass baffles. I had to pull all those glass baffles out. Some of them broke, so then I had to clean the glass out. Then it was the logistics of getting a 1/2-inch pipe into a 1-inch pipe and getting it all situated in here correctly. As you guys can see here, and I'll show you, it's a little tight fit. So I can still get to the valve here to adjust it, but this being the SK 5000, if it was a 3000, which is a smaller one, it probably would have fit a lot easier. And I know folks are going to say, well, you're not going to have any space for the roll. I already had, when I moved it, there was a full roll on here. So I was able to get that measurement to know that, okay, when the full roll is here, this will fit with this roll on here still. So the only other change that I did have to do was have an oh shit moment and try to find the extension arm to extend the roll out, because originally it should have been side by side. With the extension roll or the extension arm, you can actually move the roll up, left or right. I can tilt this any which way, but I needed that arm to kick it up, because with both of the rolls side by side, it definitely would not have fit. So that is in here. It is working well. I do have my Neptune probes in this same chamber because it's a low flow, and it is the water coming in from the tank versus the water, or at least the water that's draining down into the tank versus the water that's going to go out and up into the tank. I'd rather know what's coming in, so that gives me in my eyes, a better picture of what's going on with the tank versus what's going to make it into the tank. Because if the pH level is higher down here and by the time it gets in and back down it's lower, I'd rather know that. Let's see. So next we're moving on, because I never really got to talk about this sump design, which was fairly unique in a way. It's actually a raceway design, so the water comes in, swoops around the back and goes out to return, which is actually a bit of a benefit in that you can actually end up with different sections for filtration. So right now I have the mechanical filtration with the filter roller. I have biological here in a sense with the Cade. Originally I did want to do one of the what is it, the algae turf scrubber on here, but just adding a whole nother pump and another like big chunk of maintenance wasn't going to be in the picture at that moment. Plus dropping all that cash on that, man, that's something else. So went to the tried and true Cade, and I got my AI Prime that I've had for a few years on this on the Cade. Now this was just one, the Cade was actually just a ball. It was just one little ball of Cade, and it has since grown out into this massive mat here full of pods and everything else that you can imagine. Like I said, the bicolor is down here. As you can see, he is here, and he's being fed by all the algae and food that does make it out into the tank. So he's actually doing well. And we'll take it over here to the other side. Open up one of these doors, and here we have the other side of the sump in itself. Let me swing over here, get you guys a better shot of everything. All right, so here goes the other side of the sump, and you can see the raceway design comes in, comes around, and then goes back out. Here's all live rock down in down in this particular chamber, and excuse me there. And then my media reactor, which has aquachar in it, and it's been doing pretty well. I do need to go and add some more or change it out or whatever the case may be. But all the way down to the other end, tilt this up a bit, is the return. As far as the return, I have the, let's get that back on. I have the Vectra M2 by Ecotech on here. So the whole tank's pretty much powered by Ecotech as far as the pumps and lights. And that red and white piece on the right is the float valve for the auto top off. So as the water goes down, the reservoir tank puts water in. Good thing about it, it's not powered by any electronics or any float valves that could go out, and any little bit of drop in the water level puts just a little bit of water back in there. So my salinity has been really stable for some time now with using this particular method. Let's see, trying to get this light to come back on. There we go. So it's all on a motion sensor, which is all the way down the other end. So that's that for here. One question I do have for you guys, if you're still watching this with me right now, one question I have is what to do with this whole 15-gallon section of auto top off. I was thinking of doing a frag rack or do a little frag system down here to go ahead and supplement some things at the top, or just leave it as what it is right now, which is pretty much just storage for all the reefing stuff that we do. So I have all my Hannah checkers on one side. I got some additives and the seaweed and an extra pump here. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that? What should I do with it? Leave it the way it is or turn it into a frag rack? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll keep leaving this light shutting off and on me. So we'll get back up here to take a look at the system while I shut these doors. There goes one more thing. Last thing, which is the heart of this whole system, the nice control center. And we'll take a look. So here we got a little tablet with my apex, my readout of everything. You guys can see numbers ain't lying. I do probably need to adjust the salinity. With the Hannah checker, it does read 127 and then drops down to 126, so it's kind of on the higher end of 126, so I may come down a bit. I may just leave it right where it's at. Everything looks okay so far. All of my control pumps, got both of the MP40s and the Vectra here, flashlights, and all the switches. Some of the switches are controlling a couple of the things, but I'm not using both of them right now because you can see everything's tucked away in here. Somebody did mention to me in one of the comments recently that I was going to have a wiring nightmare because the tank is so close to the wall and I wouldn't be able to get wires in here properly. But I will say this, I did get the wires in here properly, and everything is tucked away nicely and easily accessible when I need to get to it. So we have our dosing, which is all handled by a Gimbal Wi-Fi doser at the top. We have the Filmora dosing. It's not the Wi-Fi, it's the original Filmora. I don't really need to mess with the Wi-Fi stuff. Just turn it on and set it, and as long as I keep everything set with the calcium reactor, I should be good. Let's see. All the power bricks are behind here. That way I won't have any more heat buildup inside of the cabinet, and that should be good. The calcium reactor itself, I may end up getting a bigger tank because this one is almost empty again, but that is a good thing. And I did end up having to re-top off the media before I moved everything over, because about several months ago it was at the top. It's now been used up and we had to put all that back in there. So let me move this door. And we got the food and just the additives in here and some of the control boxes, but other than that, if I tuck this away, don't really see it. There we go. But yeah, for the most part, if I was able to access this from both sides, I probably would have done something a little bit different. But since I was only able to access it from this one side here, this is pretty much what I came up with, which actually works and everything fits in here. I do have a backup battery that I did back here, and that is for the MP40s, and I'll have to just get longer cables to wire that up. And other than that, and this is the control center. Close that back and we are good. So get back up. Got my sea cucumber, it's in the top, just chilling. Today he feels like climbing the wall like he's freaking Spider-Man. Look at that. Other than that, here's the tank. Again, I'm gonna do some shots with the lights, not all white, but let me know what you guys think about it. You guys like it, don't like it, and we'll go from there. Other than that, guys, you guys take it easy and we will talk later.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. As you fade away. tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
Oh,